Welcome back, guys. Today I finally remembered to get my lapel mic. So in the previous part of the video, I'm sorry I didn't have it on, so it might have been difficult to hear. So I got a little carried away this morning. I started working and forgot to start videotaping. I have a new piece of Luan, as you saw just before this, where it was all open. This piece, I'm actually gonna spare it because this is dry and it's not that bad. It had been replaced previously. So we've got a new piece here, and I had to cut out a small section here for all these lines that ran through. Luckily it's close to the end, so I just ran a small jigsaw path right here. You won't be able to see that from the other side because there's a shelf there. And then I used some adhesive sealant on the shelves. There's some shelves on the inside that you saw, and instead of screwing them back into the wall this way, because the way RV cabinets apparently are made, or they screw them in and then they put a piece of fake wood on top and bottom to cover up your screws on your shelf, and I didn't want to take all that off, so I just used some 2-inch nails with my nail gun and adhesive sealant those, and that holds it up really well. It goes all the way to the top of the ceiling inside, all the way down to the carpet. Nice snug fit. So now what we got to do is cut holes for our 110 outlets, because there's a desk here. One of them went here, that way you could plug in a monitor or a computer or whatever. One of them went up here, which is a small shelf opening, probably for a VCR or a DVD player back in the day. So we're gonna just roughly, this is probably somewhere in here. Shelf goes all the way out to here, so put it somewhere in the back, I guess. Use it as we need.
Did it just break?
A bit broke.
I'm gonna pause this.
Go ahead. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm measuring the top dome of the back of the RV. The back of the RV is about 102 inches on the center all the way down to the bottom from the top. So that's 2 8-foot pieces plus a small dome. Well, I'm not going to go out and buy a whole nother piece of Luan just for the top piece. So what I'm doing is using scrap pieces from the window and a 4-foot section from the Luan I put inside the RV to replace the inside of the wall, because it needed about 6 inches cut off of it. So I'm using that on the top, and then on the sides over there on the top, I'm using the piece from the window that I cut out. So I'm gonna cut that down half and put it on over here on the other side, and I'm gonna mark them all out, flip it over, mark them all out, and then I'll have all my pieces to put for the top of the Luan on the outside. Then I can glue this piece up. Adhesive. Apologize, guys, because at the moment that we were attempting to put this fiberglass cat back up, I completely forgot to move the camera so it actually showed us installing it, lining it up and all that. But you'll see the 1x2s that I put on the frame of the window, that was kind of for a guide. So I apologize now for not really getting that clip in there because I didn't have it, but let's get back to it.
Where is it not? Okay, so. Well, this is where that door is.
Oh.
You guys are peeling back for nothing. What y'all doing? What are y'all messing with
Thanks,
us
Joe.
for? I
Thanks,
just
Joe.
remembered that. Remember, y'all see it. It's the wrong one from what I've heard.
Oh, good.
I can fix. It's not a big deal. Like I said, I can cover this. I'm covering this with a Turnabond tape too. So I'm putting a Turnabond tape all the way down. Then I'm putting my end piece along with like caulking on the screws. So it's gonna be sealed. I just wanted to make sure it was. I just want to make sure it was pretty much lined up almost exactly. Extension on there. Big 4-inch extension. Every inch counts.
I knew that was coming.
I can keep going with this if you want.
No, let's not. Well, let us take the kids to the park and y'all have it.
Sandpaper. It's not very fun, but that's why most people don't do this. I was too. Yeah, I mean, I can All right, so let me explain real quick what we're doing here. What we've done is we've drilled So we've drilled holes all the way around to the corner, all the way down, and all the way around. So basically, we have an outline of where our compartment door is already cut out from the Luan. So now we're just gonna put tape across to give me a good guideline, and then we'll move the tape and go to the other corners. Like I'm back. Perfect, huh? That. Right on the edge. Perfect. So, not anymore. I don't know, I might be able to repurpose that. Or it might just look better without the... What I'll end up having to do is cutting that down, because I'll have to cut it down that much because of the trim. So I don't know if it's even worth it. What we did is we cut out the compartment door and realized that there was pockets of air around this where it hadn't fully sealed with that 3M 90 high strength. So what we did is basically poke open and spray the spray adhesive. We'll let it sit for a couple minutes, and then we'll pull the screws out and go ahead and roll it with our roller that we were using yesterday. So 3M 90 doesn't always exactly work the way you want it to, depending on your temperatures, your humidity, the time you let it dry before you start sticking it. It's all relevant. So it stuck, for the most part, it stuck pretty good when I went to put it down after probably 3 minutes, I guess, 3 or 4 minutes. But there was areas that were still wanting to come undone. So what I figured out is you can take some duct tape, whatever tape, and have something it'll pull to. Because what we did, I believe it was this area right here. The other day it was not actually wanting to adhere fully. So what we did is we pulled the duct tape, or put duct tape on this overnight. And as you can see, this thing is really, really good and sealed. So duct tape really works wonders when you're needing something sealed up, and it'll sit overnight. We need to do one more area up here. Forgot about that one. some duct tape on that as well. Go ahead. Roll it, it's not all sticky, so we can take some duct tape. Doing now is we're taking this Eternabond tape, which is not cheap, so you don't want to screw this up. Since it has a backing on it, this is 4-inch wide tape. We're gonna cut this down the middle, leaving 2 inches, two 2-inch strips, so it'll overlap 1 inch on one side and 1 inch on this side. We're gonna put that on before we put on all our new trim piece. So now that we got our tape cut in half, we are going to start from the top. That way, when I do the top of Eternabond, it'll actually overlap the sides. That way rain flows down and not into any type of crevice. Still got to get the top, and we still got to get the bottom. We're going to go ahead and clean any of this edge where we're going to put this. Wonders what I'm using, it's just Dawn, basically Dawn soap and water. That's it. Because it gets grease and everything, so that's all I really care about. Is any type of greasy, dirty stuff that's going to keep the Turnabon from sticking. Being that we're in Tennessee in the south, humidity is crazy right now, even though it's warm. So we're gonna let that dry for a couple minutes just to make sure there's not really any residue of water or soap left on there from wiping it. And then we'll start our Turnabon tape on the top, and the sides will be sealed. Centered. You're going to be pulling from both sides, basically. So the top up there is not ideally what I would really care for, because it's kind of some wrinkles in it, but it'll do because I'm going to put the trim piece on top of that, so most of that's going to be covered. And then down the side, all the corners are going to be covered because of the corner pieces. So we got all four done. I got the top. We got the sides. We got the bottom. And of course, we have that side too. Here's what we're doing. we've put the trim piece in, as you can see up here, and basically figuring out how the trim piece goes. And we're just, we got new screws here a while back, so we're gonna fill in as many of these screw holes as possible. Some of them don't line up for some reason, I'm not sure why, but we're gonna fill in everything we can. If we have to pre-drill new holes and then set these through, we can. All right. Can you tell it's pulling any in up there? Okay. All right, let me go towards the corner a little bit more. Did that do anything? Okay. How's it looking on a gap? Okay. Back on that. All right, now I'm moving around. Up. Okay, right here. Where? Okay, there's a. Let me put a screw in there. I don't have a screw in there. Let me see if that helps. All right, you ready? Now, how big of a gap we talking?
I think it went in.
All right, hold. Put your finger wherever the gap is. Can you feel it get smaller when I do that?
Yes. Yeah, when you pull it in.
All right, let's see if we can put a couple more. I didn't really grab onto anything. Any gaps at the bottom? No, that feels pretty good. What about that right side?
Nope, that's good.
And the top, around the edges and on the top.
Nope, that's good.
All right, I've got one more area right here that I don't have a screw. So we have the compartment door in, we have the rear window in, which, so we're gonna have to do a little bit of caulking and stuff like that. Seal it up with some marine adhesive sealant probably, and we'll be good to go. You testing it out? Huh? All right, I'm gonna lock it. Okay, see you later. All right, Preston, let's go. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh yeah, Sean's in here. Just like that, we've got our window sealed, we've got our compartment door sealed. I like to use the blue tape because I didn't want any weird looking white caulking on the frame, and then I didn't want to smear all this paint thinner all over it and maybe fade the frame even more. So all you got to do is I taped off the frames, and then I got a little paper towel, put some paint thinner on it, and just wet my finger and went over the caulking. Looks absolutely awesome. So now what we're gonna get to is we're gonna do the lights up top, and I discovered these, which I'm sure a lot of you know about these, but they are awesome. You can put you can splice a wire, put them in there, and then put your connecting wire in there. It's totally awesome. All right, let me show y'all what I've had to do. As you can see, this is like a dome because it used to be a circle, and I had to continue to cut down a little bit to get my wire connectors into there because they wouldn't fit. It used to look like this, where it was just a round hole. But on these end ones, because I reinforced the interior, if you saw that in video 2, I believe, I put another ledger bar all the way across to attach up higher so it would have more rigidity. So what I had to do is cut down a little bit below that bar and then push my connectors down in there. All right, so I've got all the lights in. I just got done testing them and they all work. They do have a little corrosion, so I'm probably gonna have to clean those up as they wanna sometimes go off and come back on, but it's just a connection between the bulb and the outlet there, the part it connects to. But I definitely ran into some challenges because I put that cross beam that goes all the way across and extra added support, which kind of got in the way of this one and then the one way down there at the end. The two higher up ones up here, the 3 ones, those did not interfere, but the other one did. So it took a little finagling, a little extra cutting of the fiberglass and everything. But as you can see from the outline, this outline here is the marker light cover, so it'll be fine. We'll seal everything up. We should be all right there. So we've got our light covers here. What I did is I took some butyl tape and basically put a probably a 1-inch square on the back of each screw hole, so when I screw it in, at least it'll have a seal around that. And then what we're gonna do after we put our light in is go around this with a bead of the marine adhesive sealant, and after we do the screws, and we should be good. guys by telling you thank you for watching part 3 of RV wall rebuild. Catch out the other 2 RV wall rebuild episodes if you haven't done it, and be looking for part 4 where I'm going to be finishing up the wall for the most part. So thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, like it, comment down below what part you like best or what you would do differently or what you enjoyed seeing. So we'll see you in the next video.